Good morning. I was grinning like an idiot. It's all right. I'm always grinning like an idiot. Am I an idiot? Well, only you can tell. You're the judge. Good morning. It's Keith Hayes with Mirador Television. Here we are in the White Hart again. Hopefully, I'll get a half-decent picture. But once again, we just seem to have an engine trouble in that direction. But I'm kicking it hard. Hopefully, it won't be too bad. The White Hart Hotel, a 15th century coaching inn, right in the middle of Lewes, East Sussex. Lewes, the county town of East Sussex, and the home, and this hotel was the home of Tom Paine, the man who triggered the American War of Independence. Not supposed to say revolution. They see it as a war of independence. One of the interesting things was that apparently one of the I don't know whether it was Franklin or Washington or whomever visited London shortly after the break and saw the king in the street, and they went up to one another, and although reports of the meeting was that it was frosty, they were still quite civil and approached one another like gentlemen and had a chat. Even though the king had just lost his colony, and here was the man responsible for it. Paine, on the other hand, was not forgiven by royalty, and he was charged with treason. And he never stood trial because he wanted to, but his friends said, "You don't stand a chance of winning. The whole establishment is against you." So if I was you, and particularly since he'd got himself involved in the French Revolution, if I was you, I would go back to the Americas. Well, you called it the United States. Go back to the United States, which he did. And that's where he died eventually, before his remains were brought back here and then lost. Nobody knows where Tom Paine's body is, his skeleton or anything. It was brought back here well-meaning and got lost. Well, first of all, the head got lost and then the body got lost. So we don't know where Tom is. But anyway, it was in this hotel. Look at the rafters. They were the same rafters that covered his head as are covering mine right now, and that you're looking at, where he wrote The Rights of Man and fought for American independence. And let's see. Yes, we are linked. It just doesn't look as if it's a very strong signal. I can't do much about that. I just have to accept it. Right now, Mirador Television is doing things just slightly differently. For this first hour, from 8:30, first half hour, 8:30 till 9 o'clock, we're going to review the news, both national and local, through the headlines of what the papers are saying. That means that it's not necessarily the latest news, because the headlines obviously are put together in the newspapers in the small hours of the morning. But we hope that just make sure that's in properly. Yes, it is. And so, but it is the latest news that we've got, and at least it gives you a bit of a background of what's going on. So let's not wait around. Let's get stuck in. And first of all, the gas companies. The gas companies are they are in bad odor at the moment, because they have been, and it makes you wonder about how far we've come from medieval times, because some of the big organizations I notice this in dealing with the nonsensical situation the finance companies and the banks have got themselves into. If anybody is badly managed, if anybody has been so stupid in the boardroom. It's the banks. And what do? We pay them £6-7 million a year, with bonuses quite often, for being as idiotic as they possibly can be. There's no question that the banks have just lost the plot totally. No wonder the economy is in such bad shape. If those are the people that are actually looking after the big financial institutions, they have totally lost the plot. But the energy companies are pretty close in after them, because what British Gas has been doing is breaking into the homes of those people who are vulnerable, those people who can't pay, and forcibly installing pay-as-you-go meters. Which means that when somebody comes in and puts a shilling into the meter, they get a shilling's worth of gas, and when it's gone, it's gone. Unless you've got another shilling, you don't get any gas. Right? Temperatures sub-zero, no gas, no heating. Children, elderly, do they care? No, not a bit of it. This government should actually strip the boardrooms of some of the leading companies of this in this country. They are not fit for purpose. They won't. I'm too damn scared of them. I mean, what we've got at the moment are really a bunch of people crawling around Westminster, shouting the odds, making brave statements, and then running for cover. It's not good enough. No wonder we have got poor governance. Poor governance, both in terms of corporate affairs and as far as government is concerned. This breaking into the people's homes, installing pay-as-you-go meters by British Gas and any other energy companies that are up to it, you can't do that. An Englishman's home is his castle. You cannot break in. But will anybody be charged with it? No, not a bit of it. Not a bit of it. And actually, I'm slowly being turned into a revolutionary. I just think that the establishment are so far up their own backsides that they have lost the plot. They have lost what it's all about. And it's not on. We need some really deep thinking. And frankly, I don't know what choice the voter is going to have at the next election. Still, is either Labour or Conservative, or in some places such as this, Liberal. A curse on all their houses. It is not fit for purpose. As Brewster said in Brewster's Millions, when he actually ran as an independent, none of the above. Do not vote for any of the above. And I say the same thing. None of the above. I cannot find, in viewing what's going on, any credibility in any of the political parties as they are formed at the moment. The trouble is, reform does take a lot of time. And that's from the time that it gets started. And there's no sign that there's going to be reform. There's no sign in Brussels and there's no sign in Westminster. And then again, if you've got a nice deep pocket and money is being shoveled into it because of the job that you're in, are you going to ask for reform and change? No, of course you're not. And they're not. I'm afraid that British Gas is just highlighting the fragility of our leadership. The thing that frightens me is that the establishment go merrily along saying, no, nothing can happen as happens in other countries. We can't have any insurrection. Well, actually, I agree with them. It's because we've got constitutional monarchy, which is about as stable a government as you possibly can get. Constitutional monarchy is not a bad form of government. In fact, it's probably the best around. And that's why we are unlikely to have revolution in the streets. That doesn't mean to say that the disquiet is increasing as some of the damn silly things that are done either in Westminster or in. Hello, is somebody there? No, I thought I heard a little voice in the background. We're expecting Liza Page at 10 o'clock this morning with her alternative view. And for the moment, we'll carry on looking at, right, here is a beauty. Here is a beauty. Right, recognize this one? Yes. One Miss Liz Truss. And Liz Truss is talking about making a comeback. She opted out of frontline politics to gird her skirts, take a deep breath, eye up what's going on, and she's come to the conclusion that the lot they've taken over from her ain't much better. And so she's coming back and making threatening noises and threatening moves that she's going to have another go, at least being frontline critical of the present government, Rishi Sunak and his lot. So the eye leads with this. Liz Truss comeback ignites fears of new Tory civil war because the Trussites are not going to forgive the Sunak rights. They are not. They are going to be hammer and tongue, which means that they'll take their eye off the ball as usual. They will let everything get out of control, and then they'll make great speeches about what they've done. We are in bad odor. We are in tough times. So watch out for the name of Liz Truss. You thought you'd seen the last of her? Not a bit of it. Not a bit of it. The Guardian, watchdog looks into a £220,000 bill for Johnson's Partygate legal advice. Oh dear, I wish they'd all leave this alone. It's distracting, and who cares at this stage? Boris has gone. He needs stuff to use to make sure he doesn't come roaring back as well. Okay. But other than that, no. Keep the stuff where it's supposed to be. Right, okay. Let's see. The Daily Mail is a new law to stop school strike mayhem. It says that a follow-on story from Wednesday and the teachers' strike is with the Mail reporting that plans for a new law to stop school strike mayhem is being considered. According to the the Mail, ministers are considering whether to heighten the law to close a loophole that prevents head teachers from knowing which staff are taking part in industrial action. I actually, I approve of that. Yes, workers have to have rights. Of course they do. But, it's toppled the other way. They started to abuse it. I mean, it's just become nonsense now. And so I think that it's incumbent upon the government. But will they push it through? Will they have the courage? They don't seem to have courage for much, this government. The Daily Express is... Right. This one is a very sad thing because a lady who was walking her dog has failed to return home. Nicola Bully, a mother of two, disappeared while walking her dog in Lancashire. A picture of Mrs. Bully appears on the front page of the Mail, with the question has something happened to her? Has somebody lifted her? Has somebody taken her? Because the searches have suggested that she didn't fall into the water while walking along the river. That there's no sign of her doing herself in, to put it bluntly, or anything else untoward happening to her. No sign of the dog, no sign of her. So the question is being posed now, has she been abducted? One would hope not. To think that people cannot walk safely any longer in this country is that strikes at the very heart of everything that we've ever believed in for a long time. Okie dokie, the Daily Telegraph. The RAF is in the news, and it's in the middle of, would you believe it, a diversity row. Oh my goodness me! There are lots and lots of men that say that they've been denied promotion or advancement in the Air Force because of its diversity policy, which is to favour ladies. And that means that they get looked over, that they do not get any sort of chance for promotion. Now, in the United States in the 1970s, when they started introducing a preference for coloured people in the universities, it was known as reverse discrimination. It seems to me that this is exactly what we're talking about here, but it's in the RAF that it's beginning to surface first. And, as I keep on saying, there's only one standard we should actually apply to anybody, and that is, can they do the job? It doesn't matter what diverse they are, whether they're women, whether they're black, whether they're gay, whatever. That should not matter. What should matter is, can they do the job? And if they can do the job, then they should be given every consideration. If they can't do the job, they should, never mind what color they are or creed or anything else, they should be denied that role. And that should go down to any job. No wonder the country is, and the world for that matter, is in such a state, because we're choosing people on every criteria that doesn't matter. And the one that does, nobody gives a fig anymore. Can they do the job? Are they qualified? Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. So that's the Telegraph and the RAF. The Daily Star, the face of hypocrisy, is breaking news. The devil has moved to Suffolk. It is the Star. I love the Star. It just digs up all these crazy alternative stories. The devil's moved to Suffolk. It says 70 devotees of Beelzebub are living near Sleepy Market Town. And what he's saying is that we got these covens and Satanists all beginning to plot and move and do everything that the devil wants them to do. And it's all in Suffolk. So if you live in Suffolk, be careful, everybody. Is the devil is at large. The Financial Times. Their main headline is that Adani calls off 2.4 billion share after the sales price slumps. Basically, the shares in Adani, which is up for sale, went slumped, and so they took the company off the market on the basis that people could get it for tuppence with the way that the market stands at the moment. Right, the Mirror. They also have the lady, the missing mum who walked her dog. Very attractive lady she is too, and they highlight on that she has gone missing, and it's very disquieting. But they also then, as a subline, say a new dog attack horror. When will somebody care? And essentially, what they are saying in that story is that there's been another dog attack on a little girl. She's only aged 4, and I think that the dog killed her. Yes, they killed her. A dog attack, and Alice Stones died in Milton Keynes after being mauled by the family pet. Alongside a picture of Alice, the lead story says the paper is demanding answers to the national complacency around dog attacks and asks if the lives of some children in Britain are not at risk at the moment because of dog owners' policy. The Sun, a world exclusive, it says. Now, this is an interesting one. Is Footy Charter leaked that after years and years and years of humming and hawing, is a world exclusive, says the paper. It reports on the biggest shake-up football ownership has undertaken in years. The paper says it has seen a leaked government paper which proposes to block multimillionaires who cannot prove the source of their wealth, and they should be blocked from owning football clubs. The football white paper could be published as early as next week. The story says that the Culture Secretary Michelle Donnellan wants a new regulator in place for the 2024-25 season. Those are the basic headlines at the moment. But we've also got a couple of local stories that are of interest, and one is that an Eastbourne couple are grateful to be alive after their car was involved. It hits black ice and crashes into a lamppost. The couple from Eastbourne involved in the serious crash have spoken out about the incident in the hope of finding the two individuals who they believe saved their lives. The couple were driving along the Polegate bypass near the Polegate roundabout when their car slipped on black ice and hit a lamppost. The incident, which happened between 10:30 p.m. and 11 p.m. The night of January the 27th, saw the couple's car completely destroyed, with the front and side of the car crushed. Recalling the horrific accident, the couple said, "We were on our way home. We had gone around the roundabout, gone to build up speed on the other side of the carriageway, and then suddenly the car spun and we ended in hitting a lamppost." Right now, now the other thing that is coming up, the cost of living. Have we got anything for cost of living? Yes, we should have. Let's see. The cost of living is £1,350 cost of living payments are coming for many this year from the Department of Works and Pensions. According to them, there's no specific date, but those people who are means tested, and that means whether you get any sort of supplement of pension or tenants allowance or any one of those means tested things is will get over a period of 12 months. The top whack is 1,350 cost of living payments, and there has been an unprecedented level of government support during the cost of living cost crisis, and with all households receiving some sort of payment. Everyone has been entitled to at least £400 payment this winter to help with energy costs, and those who are entitled to benefits are being given enhanced levels of payments. The good news is there is more to come this year and next year. So there you are. If you're ready to if you're getting some sort of help, you're going to get some more help. But that doesn't take away from the main headline, which is that the energy companies are playing fast and loose. That they are, in some cases, breaking in to people who haven't paid their bill to actually install a pay-as-you-go meter, or forcing them, if they don't have to break in, is forcing them to install a pay-as-you-go meter. What does pay-as-you-go mean? It means that you put a shilling in and you get a shilling's worth of gas. And when the shilling worth of gas has run out, the thing cuts off. So in other words, you lose your heat, your light, anything to do with things that are supported by power. And that seems to me, if that's correct, iniquitous. That is something that should not take place. It does strike me as being something like serfdom, really like treating people as serfs. And I just did a little bit of research because I was looking at the Peasants' Revolt of 1380 some odd, in which there was an uprising, and the peasants actually raged across England, killing and looting and raping. The only place that actually escaped was Lewes, because they got to the castle to find a wine lake in the cellar. And they did the wise thing. They actually got pissed, and so they left Lewes alone and left the castle alone. But that's the only thing that saved us, was a decent sup of wine. But we're getting to the same sort of feudalism, which triggered that uprising, and it was feudalism. Is that the peasant could not own land, and he worked to pay a rent to his landlord. He was a tenant, and getting out of tenancy was almost impossible from the way that the feudalism was set up. Well, it's getting to that state now. It's getting, for many people, it's very difficult for them to get out of this syndrome of not having any money and paying a lot to landlords. So that's the news. That's my take on it, and we're going to be back at 9:30 to look at a little story, and then at 10 o'clock we've got Liza Page, who will actually be. Now that says 10:15. That's really Liza Page, and our interview of the day today is Liza Page, an interesting lady who has the alternative view, who is something of an advocate of the views of David Icke, a man with honor. I'm not saying what I think about David Icke's views. What I do know is that we are very reluctant, if we don't like somebody, to let them have a forum, to let them actually propound their views. And that's what happened to David Icke, and that makes me bristle. And so I say, try your best. It is now 1 minute past 9. We are going to say toodle pip for a half an hour, and then we will be back. We'll be back with some program material, followed at 10 o'clock by Liza Payne talking about the alternative view. And as she describes it, the fear that there is going to be a new world order that is going to disrupt everything that we know and love and hold dear. All right, okie dokie, indeed. So let's sign off now. See you in a little while. Look forward to it. Toodle, 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 pip.